Hi, welcome to Suspended in Thought. We can never see ourselves directly, only in reflections. It's such an ordinary fact that we rarely stop to think about. And yet, perhaps that's true in more than one ways. I was rereading The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand when I came across a line that stayed with me. People want nothing but mirrors around them to reflect them while they're reflecting too. And at first, I thought it was simply about surrounding ourselves with people who agree with us, who reinforce us. But the more I've sat with it, the more I realize I was thinking about reflections themselves. And I've always been selective about the people I let close. I used to think I was choosing my people, but maybe I was choosing the reflections I was willing to live with. Because every reflection brings something into view, and in doing so, leaves something else in the background. No one reflects all of us, but every reflection reveals something. A parent who celebrates a child's drawing, a teacher who notices a gift someone hadn't yet recognized, a friend who gently says, "This isn't you." Those moments seem so ordinary, but perhaps they're doing something far more significant. Sometimes another person notices something in us before we ever do. Sometimes they validate something we've secretly hoped might be true. Sometimes they remind us of who we've drifted away from. And in each case, our understanding of ourselves shifts. Not because someone else decides who we are, but because reflections help us recognize who we are, who we could become, and sometimes who we've stopped being. And the more I unpacked it, the more I realized how much of our self understanding depends on reflections. So much so that we barely even notice it. And then another thought struck me. If so much of my understanding of myself has been shaped by the reflections of others, then somewhere I've been doing the same for them. How many times have I been that parent, that teacher, that friend, the person who noticed something another person couldn't yet see? Or how many times did I fail to? And then I wondered, what happens when there are no mirrors? A child proudly holds up a drawing and no one looks. A strength no one notices. A kindness never acknowledged. A heartbreak no one recognizes. How much of who we come to believe we are depends on someone else simply seeing us. And that's the thought I keep returning to. In this day and age, what happens when our reflections begin to change? When more of our conversations happen through screens, through social media, through AI, when more of our reflections are increasingly shaped by responsive, personalized algorithms, who are we becoming now? And perhaps even more importantly, who are we no longer able to become? As our reflections change, will there still be mirrors that say, "This isn't you"? Maybe the most important question we need to start asking ourselves isn't how the world around us is changing, but how we're changing with it. And what happens to our humanity when the mirrors through which we've always come to know ourselves begin to fundamentally look different? That's really something I've been preoccupied with, and I'll talk about it more in other videos. But please let me know what resonates, what lingered, what challenged you. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. And in the meantime, I hope you have fun being suspended in thought.